Om Jananeem Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shrutva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Thousands of years ago, there was a war between two cousins. One side the Pandavas, the other side the Kauravas. Everything was decided, and the Pandavas had the great heroes like Bhimasena, Arjuna and others. Same way Kauravas also had lot of heroes among them. And then when just about the fight was to begin, two armies have come in front of each other. That side Kaurava army, this side Pandava army in the Kurukshetra. And the main hero from the Pandava side was Arjuna, and Shri Krishna was his Sarathi. Suddenly, Arjuna tells Shri Krishna, "My hands are shaking." Whole Pandava army was dependent on Arjuna to give them victory. Though there were other heroes, but they were dependent on them, on him. "My hands are shaking, and this Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my mouth is drying. Hands, feet, everything that's shaking." Then, Nimittani cha pashyami, says that I am seeing many, the kind of things which one should not see when one is going to win. All adverse circumstances. This was the situation. And this Arjuna, you must know, was called Triloka Veera. He had fought not only on earth, even in the heavens, even in Patala. And such a hero, suddenly at this moment, when it was the most important moment of his life, and he gets this kind of situation. What was the reason? He goes on giving arguments. Why should we fight this war? They are all our brothers, our cousins. So how can we kill them? Our own relatives, how can we kill them? It's better to fight. It is better to go and beg our food and live on alms rather than fighting this war. This was his argument to Shri Krishna. What was the reason? Fear entered Arjuna. He was the Triloka Veera. He never lost a war. And suppose if I lose this, what kind of thoughts came into his mind, it's not known. But then the point was this, that he was afraid of losing. Fear of failure. That is the topic today we are going to discuss. But then, fortunately for Arjuna, there was Shri Krishna as his friend, philosopher and guide. In the modern times also, we have these different kinds of fears. We find, when we talk to the youngsters, younger generation, what are the kind of fears? There are varieties. There are different kinds of fears. So when children, fear of failing in the examination, fear of not being able to impress the parents, fear of failing their own relatives and friends, and then there is the fear of interview, fear of not getting a job. It goes on, increasing. For everything, there is a fear. Everything is associated with a fear. Now, unfortunately, we do not have Shri Krishna as our charioteer. If Shri Krishna had been our Sarathi, if we had been dependent on Shri Krishna, like Arjuna, we also would have fought all these battles and wars with lot of courage. But then, unfortunately, we are not doing that. So that is why today we will discuss the nature of this fear. Remember, when fear overpowers an individual, he will not remain the same person. Just like we see the Arjuna, who had fought many battles and wars and had won it. But then here we find him, once fear entered, hands and feet shaking and not able to lift the bow. That is the condition. Same situation comes to us in our daily life. As all of you know very well that I was here in Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad, as the director of Institute of Languages. A youngster came one day, MBA, master degree holder in business management. He was asking me, Swamiji, there is an interview. I knew that boy, told very well from which company. It's a multinational company, Swamiji. Then you must be very happy. You have been trying to get a job in a multinational company. But Swami, there is a problem. What is the problem? For last 3 nights, I am not able to sleep. Why? I am afraid of facing the interview. Now remember, he is a graduate from our universities, master degree holder. And this is the condition. When the situation comes for him to realize the dream of his life, but then fear enters. Unable to face the interview. What has happened? Now, we have to try to find out, the root cause of this fear. Varieties of fears. And it comes at a time when we are not expecting it. We are supposed to do something. Just like Arjuna, he has to fight the war. He's a Kshatriya. And he's getting all the privileges of being a king. And then when time comes for him to fight against the enemies, and he wants to run away. The same way our condition also comes. For 15, 16 years, we have studied so that we can get a very good job. But then when the time for interview comes, fear enters. How many times it happens? So you'll find varieties. And once fear enters, the whole problem is that we will not be the same individuals. We will be entirely different. There was a bus conductor. And he used to commute in the city and take care of the ticket collection, money collection and other things. And he was transferred to a new route. He was going morning, Monday morning, it was Monday morning, first trip was over, and when he was sitting for the second trip, then after 3-4 stops, he was giving ticket to all the passengers. Suddenly he found from a corner of his eyes, in a particular stop, a person was getting in. This conductor was lean and thin and short, but then the person who was entering was very strong. With mustache, 6.5 feet, with a mustache, big mustache. Then person came inside and there was a vacant seat. Before sitting in the seat, he told, Peddanna, pointing at himself, he told, Peddanna, no ticket. Conductor, while seeing him itself, he had a fear. He looks like a rowdy. Then, the big mustache and everything, he was afraid. That is why he did not ask any question. He gave ticket to all others. He did not ask even this person whether he is going to pay money or whatever it is. Simply avoided him and managed the situation. After another 4-5 stops, this Peddanna got down and went away. Again, the second day, same thing, second trip, in the same stop, Peddanna comes, probably working somewhere, and gets down at a particular, near a factory. He was thinking probably this fellow must be a ringleader or maybe, something. But then he would come, and when that stop would come, this conductor would look at that, from a corner of his face, expect. And then this person would come, Peddanna, and before sitting, he would say, Peddanna, no ticket. In front of everybody, he was declaring. And this conductor did not have the courage to ask him. Slowly what happened, when this was repeating every day, his fear increased. Because there is another aspect to it. He may not give ticket, but suppose a TTE comes, ticket examiner comes. Then what will happen? This particular person, conductor, was going to lose his job. That is why he was afraid of that also. And at the same time, he could not ignore. In front of everybody, this particular person was telling him that this is the Peddanna, no ticket. Then one day, he hit upon a plan. I must solve it, because he started getting nightmares. When he was sleeping, one day his wife asked, why you are telling Peddanna, Peddanna in your sleep? So Peddanna had come up to his sleep. He was getting, disturbed sleep. That was the condition. Then what he told was, he thought that somehow I must solve this problem. What is to be done? One day he took some of his friends there to that same trip, second trip, and asked them, you see, one particular person is there, looks to be rowdy, so I have to ask him why he is not taking the ticket. So you have to be there. Suppose if he comes to beat me, you must support me. It's all right. With that he went, and they were sitting just close by where Peddanna was supposed to sit. And that day also, after 4 stages, in the same stop, Peddanna got in. And then, with big mustache and everything. Then before sitting down, he told Peddanna, no ticket. Then conductor went to him, looked at his friends. He got some courage, went and told, why? Why no ticket? Why are you not taking ticket? It's a government bus. You must take tickets. You must pay money. This Peddanna again got up. He had sat down, then got up and started looking at the conductor. Then what he did? He did not move. Conductor started shivering. Slowly, a hand of Peddanna started going to his pocket. And conductor was shivering more. What is going to do? Then he took out something and told, I have a bus pass. Now, just observe this, just analyze this particular situation. Here was a gentleman, remember, because he had already paid the money. Having a pass means what? He has already paid the money. But what he was thinking? He is a rowdy, and all these things, so many things, and he was afraid of him. Why all this particular situation arose? Because this conductor was weak and he was afraid. He was afraid. Fear entered. And this is what happens. The same thing happened to Arjuna also. He was not behaving like Arjuna. And here also he was not behaving like a conductor. Remember, he forgot his duty. And not only that, it started giving him nightmares. How many times this has happened to us? For nothing we fear. Fear of the unknown. We do not know what is going to happen, but still we are afraid. We are afraid. There is a darkness, and we have to go there. Then we are afraid. We do not know. Nothing is there, or we do not, something may come. There may be a ghost. We have never seen a ghost, but still we think there is a ghost. Many ideas come. Why? Weakness. Weakness. It is the weakness that is the root cause of all our fear. So that is why Swami Vivekananda gives us example. Be strong. Become strong. We are human beings. We have the strength to take care of our life already in us. We have the power because we are created by God. Again, there is one more problem. Many of us have faith in God. But then the problem is that, we have faith in God, but we do not have faith in ourselves. How do we know? When there is an examination, temples become busy, crowded. Morning you will go and see. Lot of students going and having darshan of God. What is the reason? Not prepared for the examination. And ultimately only God has to save them. Sitapati nuvegati. Nobody else is going to save me. So this is what comes to our condition. Why? Here remember that it's not that we do not have faith in God, but we do not have faith in ourselves. Swami Vivekananda says, faith in ourselves, then faith in God. What is the reason? The God whom we are believing, having faith, has created us also. He has created us also. That means if He has created us, do we think that He has created us a helpless being? No, not at all. He has given us sufficient strength even for an ant to take care of itself. Remember, an ant has the ability to take care of itself. Why not we, the human being? But then all these things happen because of lack of proper thinking process. When we go behind the root cause of this particular, the psychosis of fear, fear psychosis, different kinds of phobia, etc., the reason is that lack of thinking. Lack of thinking. There was an old horse serving a master. Then what happened? When it became old, the master gave it retirement. You may wonder, what is retirement for a horse? Well, there was a stable. It used to stay at the night, and before night falls, it would get some grass and water to drink, grass to eat, and then morning, it had to go round and go and graze wherever it liked. It was free all through the morning, all through the day. And then again, evening it would come back to the stable and sleep nicely, morning again go back. So this was its routine. One day, when it went out for grazing, in the field, there was an old well, unused well. It was eating grass on the edge of this ditch, then accidentally fell inside. When it fell, so suddenly it was afraid. What will happen if nobody protects me now? Because it tried to jump out, it was not able to. So the well was deep enough so that it could not come out. Then it was weeping and wailing and praying to its master, please come and save me. I have fallen into ditch. Whole night it was there. Then the fear of dying, that increased. And in the morning, when the master came to know, the Malik, when he came to know that it has not come, he sent some people to find out, where is the horse? They found in the ditch. They went back and reported, sir, it has fallen into a ditch, old well. Then what is to be done? Malik was thinking of bringing it out. But then his friend was sitting there. Then he told, you see, it has become old. Now, how many years it is going to live? Told, maybe maximum 1 year. It has become very old. Well, after that, what you are going to do? I have to dig a pit and then bury it. See, now there is an easy chance. Put some mud on it and it is buried there because it has already fallen into a ditch. Very simple thing. And anyway, you have to close that old well. Otherwise, somebody or other will fall down. Instead of that, this horse also will be buried there and a nice samadhi. So now the master had a second thought. Then he told, all right, let us bury it there. The people came, 8 to 10 people with baskets, spade and everything. The horse was very happy when they were talking. They were going to save me. But then suddenly it found that mud started falling on its head, basket by basket. Then it realized it is going to die. There is no other escape. Then more and more weeping. But who is going to help? Who is going to help? The mud level started increasing. Slowly, all its 4 legs got stuck up in the mud. Now, horse stopped weeping because it realized weeping is not going to help. Then what is to be done? It started thinking, now somehow I have to get up from here. Remember, it was a horse, not a donkey, so it could think. Then what happened? Then it thought, how can I come out? It's not possible. The only thing I can do it, that this mud is there. My leg is stuck in the mud. I can free it. Then it shook with all its might, all the 4 legs. Then what happened? Horse legs are very small and it was able to free itself and stand on the heap. Again, mud started falling continuously. And whenever its legs used to get stuck up, it used to shake it off and stand on the heap. Slowly, level of the mud raised and it came to such a level, it could jump out. Then it simply jumped out, ran away laughing. I was going to die there, buried by the mud. But see, the mud itself helped me to come out. Now, this is the life. We say examination, fear of examination, or anything. But then do you know, Swami Vivekananda says this world is a gymnasium. We have come here to become strong. And what is exercise? These are the problems. And as long as we think, just like the horse, this mud is going to kill me, bury me, and it becomes a problem, remember, that is the fear. And when fear enters, we stop thinking. Remember, the moment fear enters, we stop thinking. Brain stops working. But it's only when we start thinking that we realize that there are many ways to overcome the problems. One of them is to face them. Here we find, for the horse, the mud was a challenge. Remember, it was not going to bury it, but rather it helped the horse to come out. As long as it was thinking it was a problem, it was burying it. Once it started thinking of utilizing it and coming out, and remember, same thing became a way for it to come out. Now, in the same way, it happens in life. Different kinds of situation. Why they are there? God has created them. The world is a gymnasium. When we go to the gymnasium, we do not expect ourselves to sleep nicely. Remember, we have to take exercise. Then our muscles become strong, joints become strong, body becomes strong. The same way, Swami Vivekananda says, face the problems of life. That is the only way you can overcome it, and that is the only way you can become strong. They are the exercises for us. They are the exercises. And everyone is going to have a problem. If we are afraid of facing the problem, then we cannot live in this world. No, Jivan Mrutulu. Even though we are living physically out of fear, constant fear, and because of which, though we are living, we are just like dead. Instead of that, utilize the same problems to become strong. How? Face them. Swami Vivekananda again and again talks about it. Even the Upanishads also talk about that. Shrunvantu vishve amrutasya putraha. Know your real strength. You have the power within you. Tamevam viditva atimrutyu meti. So know yourself. I have seen, I have understood, I have realized that there is some higher truth. And every power is within us. So then, realize it, understand it. So this is what we have to understand, the power that is within us. Can we understand? Can we realize? Can we put that into practice? That will help. Every problem helps us to slowly, climb up. So as long as we do not believe in this, we think that we are ordinary people, we are helpless, then fear remains with us. Fear remains with us. So that's why to overcome from fear, the only way is to face the challenges, face the problems, believing in ourselves and facing. Of course, there are other Swamis who are going to tell you about that. The whole thing, there are 3-4 talks that are coming, but then you will come to know how to face all these situations, etc. But then this is in a gist of the fear, psychosis, and the method to overcome this. Shrunvantu vishve amrutasya putra ayedhamani divyani tastuhu vedahametam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasa parasthat tamevam viditva atimrutyumeti Nanya pantha vidyate yanaya uttishtata jagrata prapyavaran nibodhata. From the Upanishads, it says, arise, awake. Swami Vivekananda says, stop not till the goal is reached. So otherwise, fear overcomes us and we became nobody. Namaste.